Facebook Live. We are live on Facebook. What an amazing day. Come on over to Facebook Live, talking to Ed Box Brunson. He is the founder of Urban Expressions. I know everybody think, what? There was the founder. He's the one who started it, and he actually passed me the mantle to do my thing, to do what I do, because I love Urban Expressions.
Indeed.
Indeed, it was like, and it's not even like I don't even know that's God right there. Like Frankie said, that when it's God is in it, he's in it. So come on over to Facebook Live or YouTube. You can go either one, Facebook Live, YouTube, and we're gonna be right here and making sure. So thank y'all so much for rocking out 30 interviews in 30 days. This is day 30. Join us March 26th at 9 p.m. at the Commodore Barry, and we're gonna be honored by Uptown Standard newspaper. Unless y'all just want to stay here while I talk to Ed, I could do both. Let me see how this works. All right, let me see how it works. All right, Ed, I'm gonna try to do this both thing. So
Hey,
Ed Box Brunson.
it'd be cool to punch those people over to here if they're still watching, but hey.
He said punch all over the Facebook. Not everybody in the Facebook does do the Facebook thing, you know.
Right. Or the Zoom thing.
No, they don't do the Zoom thing. If y'all want to come on into Zoom, it's up to you. But we right over here on Facebook Live. So Ed Box Brunson, he is the son of Dorothy E. Brunson. Dorothy Brunson was the first African American woman in the nation to own a radio and TV station. When I say, I want to say that with power because it is so significant, right? It's so significant to be the son of the woman who was the first. So before there was an Oprah, before there was a Kathy Hughes, there was Dorothy Brunson, who was the first African American woman in the nation to own a radio and TV station. Ed,
Yes.
as her son, right? Like,
Yes.
did you understand the magnitude of what she was doing throughout those years as she was moving up the ladder from this, that, and the other? I mean, you know all the history. So what did you think? What
Well,
your actual thoughts?
The first thing is growing up, my mother is a type A alpha type personality. So she got 1B in her whole life in school. She's an all A all the time, got 1B. So there was no bringing home bad grades. That's just part one.
Oh,
So part two, and just continuing, she instilled a lot of lessons young that a lot of people know who would work with her. But I didn't see how, I guess the first time I knew things were big, I was probably 7 or 8, and I'm backstage at a Parliament Funkadelic concert, and it's like dry ice everywhere. And I don't really know what's going on. You know, the guys walking by in diapers, and there's all kind of props back there. And I was like, wow, she's into some big things. She does big things. And then in another time, I got to meet Janet Jackson when I was younger, and all the Jacksons. And then I said, okay, so she's in entertainment. But by the time I was in junior high, she was making her moves to buy radio stations. And so then we flash forward to her buying her first station after leaving inner city broadcasting and being, and before that, let me give her accolades. She's the first African-American woman to run a major ad agency in New York City. First African-American woman to manage a AM radio station, manage a FM radio station, manage a multiple conglomerate of stations. And then that leads her to what I would call the schmoozing mode, where she got to her backers, her financial people, trying to make the next step, because she made a lot of people millions. Hal Jackson, everybody in WBLS in New York would know what we're talking about. My mom was instrumental. She is known in the history books as the revolutionary of radio. She was instrumental in creating the urban contemporary format and being able to sell urban music to everyone, and also handpicked a lot of the most famous DJs out there, like Frankie Crocker, and came up with different formats. Like in the next hour, you hear zero this and zero this and zero this, like a promo of the music you're going to play. So a whole bunch of little innovations that she was in radio, and then smoothed over to start moving us to Baltimore, bought the station in Baltimore, bought a station in Wilmington, bought a station in Atlanta. By then I'm growing up. I'm helping her manage the station in Atlanta while I'm in college. I went to Morehouse. And shout out to Mom. She recommended Morehouse. I was headed to MIT or Georgia Tech or Virginia Tech. So mom said, hey, go down there. You don't like it, go wherever you want. And of course, Mom's know best. And loved my Morehouse experience. And then when I graduated, by the time I was graduating Morehouse, my mother is buying Channel 48 in New York. I mean, in Philadelphia, sorry. And maybe 2 years after I graduate, she made the offer I could not receive to be part of the family vision, just to put it in a short way of seeing it. And from there, you get 48, me working with my mom, and the birth of course, Urban Expressions and other things. And of course, my mom was the first person to own a television station at that point. With great battles with the FCC, with having to go grab components for the transmitter and drive them up ourselves. And with sometimes fighting floods off the Manayunk. So yeah, so did I answer the question or?
That did. I just wanted to make sure we gave a history of Dorothy Brunson, because when we think about Urban Expressions, it's great to be celebrated. It's great to be, got celebrated. Everybody understands Urban Expressions, but really, it came on the back of the first, and she's such the first that Oprah Winfrey acknowledged her at her exhibit. So you remember when the African American Museum, Smithsonian Museum opened up, there's an exhibit inside of the museum, and it was Oprah's early days, and Oprah saying basically paying homage to those that came before her. And Dorothy Brunson was on that wall. So even Oprah Winfrey acknowledged the fact that Dorothy Brunson was the one who paved the way for her. Dorothy Brunson was on there, then Cassie Hughes, and there was so many others. But of course, the significant thing I wanted to go see was Dorothy Brunson's face on this whole exhibit, because just Oprah is like, yo, all right, she did this, and this, but she remembered. She paid homage.
Yeah, because like you say, the paving of the way, all African American women know you kind of have the double. You're Black and a woman. So she had these double walls to fight all the way through her professional career, which is what makes it so significant, because once the first one breaks through, then people see, oh, it's kind of possible. Shout out to our first African American Supreme Court justice coming out. And so, yeah, these firsts need to keep happening to break through for others. And as her son, I'm looking at it from a male perspective, but still from a female perspective, because that's my mother, who's a female. And so I could always see that she had her woman side and her side that was definitely feminine. But when it comes to business and productivity, I would just call her a type A personality, which doesn't really come in a male or female version, super driven. And when you talk about being her son, I'm sure other children of people who are highly successful would say, you got to give up on living up to that, because that'll drive you crazy. So you kind of just do you. And you hope that the rub off of what she or anyone's parent was comes off in who you are and what you're doing. And so as much as people, the legacy, well, it's tough. I'm sure, like, I'll give you an example. Arnold Schwarzenegger has 2 sons, and one looks just like him, that lives with him. The other one lives with mom, looks totally different. And so, yeah, you're just being born to a legacy is tough in its own way, but you push through to be your own individual, and that's has always been, I think, a tougher thing. And I'm sure other people who have successful parents would relate. But all you can say is, hey, am I living my life that they can see who I am also represents who they were through my actions. Yeah.
But I think you're living it well. I'm sure there were moments that you going through some things and you was thinking, oh man, why was I put here? So what were your I asked everybody this, what would you want to be when you grow up? And are you doing that now?
Well, I'm close to doing what I wanted to do growing up. In other words, I always knew I would be an entrepreneur and running business. And in technology, I have a computer firm downtown Baltimore, Dataflow Computers. We've been there 17 years. So pretty much that was the relocation after the shutdown of Channel 48. So I definitely feel like I'm close, but I'm a big nerd. And in my utopian Star Trek way of living life, if I would love to just do research and play music and create and still have a fruitful life. But the world's not like that. So I'm not quite in my utopian, but hey, I'm a semi-retire. I'm not that old. Maybe I can still do more with what I would call the last third. At my age, I call it the last third. And continue to grow the entities that we have, like Urban Expressions Inc. and the Dorothy Brunson Foundation, and continue to partner, build the legacy, and provide for my family, my loved ones. Yep.
So with that, you're saying we're building all these entities. Do you expect to? Do you want millions? That's my question. I was trying to curtail that. Do you want millions? Do you want millions?
I could see myself retiring with millions. But one thing that my mom was saying as she was going through some of her latter moments in life was that she regretted smelling roses along the way. So I want a great balance of millions and happiness, because it's just striving for millions for its own sake, for just money. Damn people, damn your religion, and just going for just money, that could lead you to an evil place and not necessarily the life you want. And so you should definitely strive for all your financial success that you deserve for the work that you do. And you should always increase your worth such that that value is increasing in life. And I live more that way, as opposed to just letting a figure guide my life, a particular figure of an amount. Now, I am getting at the age where I do need to decide, like all of us, you get to a point where you say, I can't work but so long and enjoy my health but so long. And so there has to be a stopping point and how you're going to enjoy the rest point. And that's just some old man stuff over here. But other than that, I'm building.
But believe it or not, I don't want to say it's old man stuff, because I want to say there's a population that teaches this when they're kids. There's a population of people that teach this when you are in your teenage years, to start setting up your life so that you will have it when you do turn 30, when you do turn 40, 50, whatever it is. But if you start at that, so that thinking is not for your older age. There are populations. There's a financial guru that I talked to. His name is Kurt. How am I calling Kurt? I don't know. He does movies, but he started when he was younger, saving, building, and by the time you get to a certain age, he's living comfortably. So whatever he's doing right now is gravy. It's what he wants to do. He does what he wants to do because he understood starting it early. So I say, if you're listening to this, don't think of retirement as something that you need to think about later on. It should be thought
I
about right
agree.
now. What can we do
Totally
right
agree.
now?
Yep, totally agree. I just feel like I'm privileged actually to think about this later in my life because I always knew I would be passed on things to build upon. And
Absolutely.
so I know that I'm unique in that way. But definitely, uh, you should be looking at a long-term life outlook and what's important, what are your hobbies, what are some simple things that are just you, and you mix that in with how much you think things will cost, and then you could be at 20 really working hard and retiring at 40 and having a great life
You want that.
because you wait too long and then you like you're the 80-year-old in a Lamborghini. You don't want to be that dude, even though that you should be that dude too, but you want to have that. You want to, that 80-year-old with the Lamborghini. Most people who have that strive to this point that they didn't really live life along the way. They get old and have all this great stuff, but you're older. So I definitely encourage people to get into establishing your long-term wealth early. And there's always risky ways and non-risky ways. Like, oh, stocks is a little risky, bonds are sturdy. Crypto's a little risky. Long-term savings in a bank is not so risky. IRA, that's really thinking super far ahead. You can deduct the taxes off of what you put in it, and when you deduct the money out of it, there's no tax on it. It's just you gotta wait, and so you got to be long-term with an IRA. So these are if we're talking finances with our folks, which definitely is a Dorothy E. Brunson trait. Yeah, you definitely want to manage your finances, never live above your means. My mom never bought anything that depreciated in value significantly over time. When she did buy things, there might things she would spend up for that would be quality things that would last a while, and very few trendy things, and never on a car. She drove I think it was a 65 Chrysler Newport.
Right, but then I remember when it was time for her to get a new car, because that was an old car. It's time for her to get a new car. Like, I was expecting something nice, not that it wasn't nice. I was expecting something a little more jazzier, if you want to say, but she came with a Malibu.
The Chevy Malibu Basic Edition. No frills, not even electric in that, with the windows. And boy, she put maybe 160,000 on that sucker. And it was her commuting vehicle. So she would use it to drive back and forth from Philly to Baltimore. So she was my mom's coffee.
Go on that. That. He said she drove the car. She drove the car back from Philly to Baltimore, meaning she was people make excuses. I don't want to do this. I don't want to travel. But she traveled for work every day from Baltimore to Philadelphia every day.
Especially in the first couple of years. By the third year, I had a place that she could stay in, and she sometimes would stay in a hotel, and maybe she would drive up 2-3 days a week and stay. But she definitely rode back and forth from Baltimore, Philly a lot, and put miles and coffee stains in that Malibu. I'm not personally, I drink coffee for medicinal purposes, like, I need the kick. But some people wake up drinking a coffee cup or two. She was one of them. Coffee was her wake up thing. And so that's how she moved in the morning. And there was plenty of 12-hour days for her.
Yes, it was. She could keep going and going and going. I remember I was her executive assistant, and I remember days where everybody else was gone, and I was still there. Like, are we serious? I gotta still work. I gotta still but in hindsight, being younger, like much younger, and I was just like, I didn't understand it. But now I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to learn from her. So she was teaching me how to build packages, like the advertising packages.
Mm-hmm.
She was teaching me the step-by-step process, and we were putting a whole lot together. And so I value that time, but at that moment, I was just like, everybody else is going, and I gotta stay here.
Yeah, well, uh, with I don't know what the word is, but with great power comes great responsibility. In other words, okay, if I'm going to be, I feel it from the sun. When anyone calls out, I got to be there. And so I rose from just being traffic manager to eventually being her vice president of operations. I had to actually learn duties along the way myself working with her. When I first started, I was just a computer guy. And then by the time I left, there's pretty much very few things I think I couldn't handle in life, much less business.
Right.
And then she gave other people opportunities just like that. She could see if someone was willing to work hard and had a shortcoming that she could work with versus someone with all the credentials in the world who she didn't think she could work with, or someone who really she would love to help, but you just, for lack of a better term, not equipped for the job you're seeking. But she would reach right into the middle where there were people who were maybe halfway, 75% equipped, but felt loyalty as opposed to the person who's overqualified that wants money you can't afford. And that's another cash flow employee thing that my mom was a master of. And she would have no problems letting you go and saying bye-bye. You feel you can get a better job, God bless you. I have the, what is it called? The recommendation for you, a good one. Please go, have a great, because I don't want bad for you. We want good for you. I'm just going to work you hard, but I want good for you. So she definitely was that type of a lead by example because she was there before you. She's leaving after you, so she can't say she worked hard. And yeah, so she was definitely lead by example person, and I definitely took that in any leadership roles that I've taken in any organization, and I think everyone should. If you're going to lead, if you're not leading by example, it's going to be tough. And shout out to my man in Ukraine, Kaczynski. He is leading by example. He is staying right there in the country knowing Russians are coming for him. And he don't have enough weapons. And so leadership comes in those forms. You lead by example. Unlike others we can name, we will not keep it political, we'll keep it apolitical and keep it positive. And so that's a leader right there.
That is a leader. And she was that type of leader.
Like, definitely.
She taught me my work ethic. Like, it's like things that, sometimes we don't get it. Like I said, we don't get it at the time. So after she passed away, I got it. It was crazy though. I was so upset that day. We're at the service, and I was like, I get it. I finally got something that I was supposed to get a year before. It was a year before that. It was like a year or two before that. She was investing in me, and I didn't get it. I didn't get what she was doing at the time. I just was like, what is this? Why is she doing this? Like, why she? But I didn't take it.
Really, just like a year or two. So you're talking.
I'm talking about
09?
Year.
Like 09.
Was it? It was 09. It was like the year or two before she passed.
So that's like 09, 08. Wow, right. Y'all were still in touch then? That's pretty cool. Because I didn't know how much y'all were in touch, because I was in Baltimore working with her.
Right, but she had I don't know what year it was, but it was the year that she bought an office, not bought an office, but paid for an office for me.
Nice.
And I didn't know what to do with it then. But could you imagine somebody paying for office right now? I know what to do with it, right. But I didn't know what to do with it then. And I'm like, she bought me an office, like my own office. Like I got control of this whole office, and I didn't do what I could have done with it, So now the drive, my extra work hard drive, it comes from that. It was like I had a moment, I had an opportunity, and I didn't take the opportunity. She gave me a whole office, Ed.
All you got to do is fill it up with your ideas and your passion, and you're successful. Whatever it is, you got a place outside of your home to do business. Real simple. And that just takes you up a notch. No disrespect to anyone working from home, because there's some nice home offices, and this young generation, they don't really need an office per se. But back then, an office was pretty important to do business.
It was, and she got not just one office, she got us the corner office. It was a corner office that you can get in off the street. It was a great office, and I did some things with it, but not as much as if she gave it to me right now, it would be a whole nother story. Let me tell you.
That's another thing that I think we've learned and spread and kept in our family community under my mother is this loyalty aspect. Because loyalty can't be bought. It's earned, right? Loyalty, isn't that how it's said? Loyalty is earned? Or loyalty might even be proven. You might have to prove you're loyal. Maybe that's how you earn it. But once you were in my mom's loyalty circle, there was nothing she wouldn't do for you within her means. Within her means, because some people ask for stuff that she couldn't do. But she was a good judge of character, and that everyone doesn't have that. I can admit. No, I mean, judging character comes with extreme wisdom, and a lot goes with it. And I think I'm getting better at it over time, but still. And more than judge a character, she would judge your work ethic. Because she'll deal with a crazy person who will work hard.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, I don't believe I was the most qualified for the whole position of assistance. But, what got her was, she told me point blank, it was the fact that I had lost weight. So she saw me go from, not that I'm not here now. So now this might be my way to get back. Like, yeah, I'm going to make her proud again. But anyway, I would have been bigger and I lost weight. And she saw my determination as I was losing the weight. So she was like, that determination let me know that you'll be, be somebody great to work with. So you never know. And sometimes that one opportunity opens doors to other things. So with the fact that you say some people, knowing that you will get less a few things. Do people come at you because they think you may have the millions, or that like, oh, I know you got money because your mom owns the station. Do they come after you like that?
Well, there's and you would know this, Shell. There's this perspective, especially in entertainment, that just once you're there, you're rich or have money. I remember early on when we were doing the Urban Expressions. And then some of the people say, well, how much Ed paid you? They're like, I'm volunteering. You on Urban Expressions volunteering? He ain't getting nothing. And I'm like, they don't know the whole structure of things. They don't understand. And so we know plenty of successful people in front of the camera who are broke now. And so, so just like any business, there's risks involved. And so basically, I'm in real estate. Long story short. So I don't have money.
You got assets.
Yeah.
But I told you a story about, I told it on one of the interviews, the story about how you bought not a plot, but a lot. How did you know to buy that lot that it was going to turn into something different and more money later on?
You're talking about the one we have now?
No, the Philly lot, not the one now. The Philly lot. Like years ago, you bought the lot and you were able to sell it for a significant amount of, a nice little amount of money.
Right, because there was the lot that the building was on, but there was the lot next to it. Is that what you're saying? And we had both.
No, it was a lot you bought. It was your purchase. You purchased a lot down near George Street, near your old way, right?
Well, I'm in real estate. How long ago was that?
He said, look, he's in real estate. See, that's a whole nother thing. This was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think we did buy a plot, sell a plot. We had to sell the land under that, but then we bought some other stuff, and then we got some other stuff. And one thing that I guess I miss the entertainment field, but I swear fame is like we always talk about. Fame is, I'd rather be rich than famous and happy, because fame is a whole nother drama. But when you're building your wealth, you need to understand that kind of thing. Who you're going to be interacting with, that you build your wealth with, and so I'm lucky, I'm blessed that I've always been in family business. We've had I've trusted allies, trusted lawyers. It's my mother's only other heir is my brother, who we trust, and so I'm in a blessed situation with as far as that goes. But my hands are in so many other entities that touch people right now. Between I'm vice president of the Baltimore Morehouse Association. I got the foundation going. I'm in a couple of charity groups. I'm in some nerd groups, which is my thing. So I'm a be me. And then I'm still running a business and running actually 3 businesses at the same time. So I'm pretty busy, but I'm always sharing, and I'm loving that the foundation gives me a chance to keep reliving, sharing all that I can share.
Yeah.
And we can brag on, we had the launch, and that was a great launch we had of the foundation of the 25th anniversary. And that was 5 years ago. Hello, 30th anniversary. Hello. So we're all in sync. And then we sponsored people. We gave out scholarship money. We sponsored radio events. We had the Morgan State Film Festival with Dorothy E. Brunson Morgan State Film Festival. And so we're doing things in her name. And so that's kind of what I wanted to be on for the last day of the 30, because I am the founder, but it wouldn't be 30 years without Shell. I took it to 04, that's it. So, and then of course, like I was saying the other day, when we were having the staff, all our staff got together and we had our Zoom, and that was great. And as much as everyone did work, like Shelly said, she had a passion for it. I don't know. It's this weird thing. You don't know whether people supposed to be in your life, whether they a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Well, Shelly's been a season and a reason and a lifetime. Like the first time I met her, who knew? She's just hanging out on a boat.
I had fun on that boat, though.
Yeah. What was that little boat? One of those.
It's called the Liberty Bell too. After all these years, I will remember because it was free out.
It was open bar. My mom was setting it up.
It was open.
She was setting it out for the first one. And it was just one of those little ride around the city tour type little boats with a little top and a little dance floor. It wasn't no yacht or nothing. But bar was open. And so I met Shelly then. And then it was like 2 years later, she's helping me with Urban Expressions. And then year or two after that, she's my mom's executive assistant. And then maybe 2 years after that, you're also doing sales. And then, your story. And then Philly's Oprah blossoms.
Hey.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! But you know what? I thank you for the opportunity. I thank you for believing in me. And and like I said, when you say, what is your why now? I don't know. I can't go back and say, hey, Miss Brunson, I get it now. But because I can't go back and say, hey, I get it now, my why is I want her legacy to live on. How much she meant to me. I wish I could have got it then, but since I didn't, I think it was meant to happen now, because now it's so on me that I'm like, listen, y'all gonna know about Miss Brunson. You're gonna know about it. She was rough right there, but it was for a reason. It was a reason she was rough. It was a reason she was trying to teach me some things. And I was just like, no, it's so hard. It's so hard. But it wasn't hard. It was what life is right now. It was everything.
The crazy part is, So all of us have parents. And my dad's still alive, so I've only got to experience one half of what this is. But when you lose a parent, the first thing ain't, oh, I'm gonna do a foundation. I mean, your mind isn't quite in ways to think long term yet. And but what happened was people kept calling. Oh, I missed the funeral. I was out of the country. I was out of town, I came to the funeral, couldn't stay. I came to the wake. But let me tell you how much she meant. I got so many calls that it was like, well, I don't know if it's the mom in me that says, well, it's coming to me, use it, or if it's just who I am saying, I really want to take this energy of my mom's honor and keep it going, but a little of both. Because I think with the energy, like my brother always says, like my mom always said, if it don't make money, it makes sense. So why start a foundation if it can't do anything? Just for the sake of having a foundation? Wah. So we've been slowly building a strong foundation in her image, in her honor, with her themes. Like the current theme of the things for last year was, I never quit. I never quit. And that was her thing. She never quit. I don't care if she got trashed through mud, sleep overnight in a tent, rent a hoopty, pay everyone in the family $20 to have 30 people there. She would make it happen. And so in that spirit, we are building. And this is all part of the building of of her legacy. And the Urban Expressions Inc. as a foundation on the side actually started happening while she was alive. So her legacy's already started doing things. And again, it was so many calls, so much outreach. And people said, oh man, I knew you was doing some things. When I came by with my artists, yeah, Puffy and Biggie, oh, this guy, he got a little studio, he got a little rap show. Nah, that rap show was maybe only 10, 15% of what I had going on in my life. But it was necessary. And I appreciate the time that everyone put in, because I know I put in a lot of time. This legacy feels really good, what we're starting. And I'm still getting calls to this day. We're still getting awards to this day. We're going to pick up an Urban Expressions Award on, what's that, March 26th?
March 26th, yep.
March 26th. My mother got a Radio Hall of Fame award last year.
Yeah.
And so her legacy continues. And we are still reaching out to her, anyone who can hear this, from Kathy Hughes to Oprah to Hal Jackson, and all your lineages and all your people, from all the people in Philly in politics that she worked with, from all the people in Baltimore in politics that she worked with. Shout out to Catherine Pugh, all the people in all over the world, in Virginia and Atlanta. If you're peeping this and you're hearing this, reach out to us. Her legacy is alive in us, and if she's motivated you or been an inspiration in the past, or just her stories of inspiration, hey, join us. And I'm a man, and I'm leading, celebrating women's causes, and because my mom was a superwoman. And so, though I am male, I am an advocate for African-American women, especially women of the minority, Chinese, Hispanic, Arabian, Arab. We are all the minority in the power struggle. And then even the poor, because poor, the poor people get manipulated just like brown people. So that's who my mom was about. She wanted up and coming people, not flash in the pants people. People who wanted to work and upcoming and bring things forward. And so that's the legacy we're bringing. That's why I had to be here for the final day. I don't know if we're quitting just at 9 exactly.
No, we don't have to quit it now. I just want to make sure we say hi to LaLa Ferreira. She used to have she used to be in the studio where our office was, which was on One Old Bridge. Well, it doesn't matter. Down there by the water, Fairmount, Kelly Drive. So there was an office, it was a studio, and LaLa used to be in the down there in the studio recording her music. So she said, "Dope, what's going on, LaLa?" I used to see her all the time.
Yes, LaLa. I remember LaLa. Where is she now?
She is in a hot state. I can't remember this. I want to say Florida. So it's a hot state. And I think her album was called Full of Smoke or something like that. And what was
that little place? Howard actually even stayed there for a minute. It was that little place on Kelly Drive.
That's what I'm talking about, on right off of the water. Right off of Kelly Drive. And the studio was downstairs.
Right.
The office was upstairs.
I remember the office. That's the office my mom got you?
No. That's the one. No. That's the one we got.
That's the one we got once Urban Expression started finally doing a little bit.
So once we started doing something, that's the office we had. So, but underneath of the office was the studio, the real recording studio.
Everyone's been through there. Yeah.
And Jerry Wilson, remember Jerry?
Oh yeah, me and Jerry, we're in touch.
Right. Huh?
Me and Jerry in touch on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to host his show one of these days. But shout out to Jerry Wilson.
Yes.
Tell him I said, how's his car? Because I know he just got into an accident and bust his back up, and then he took the radio out and put it in another car. Yeah, I keep in touch with my family.
Yes, you did. He did. So what's up, Jerry? Monica's watching. What's up, Monty on the scene?
Monty on the scene. Let me tell a Monica story. Do you remember when we went to the radio station and then we was waiting forever to interview Busta Rhymes?
Mm-hmm.
You do? And then
good old Busta Rhymes.
And then so Monica, it was camera person. She's very competent, but maybe this may be her fourth job, and she was maybe a little new at it that day. Maybe her fourth job. So finally he come out and he's like, let's go. And so Monica's like, okay. And he's like, what's up, sis? You moving slow, sis? Like he was just all in Monica. You ain't no professional. And Monica's just doing her best. And I just remember moments like that where I was like, damn, you harassing my staff. They volunteering, wait for your ass. And so, shout out to Busta. You need to calm down on your public.
Yeah, nice probably. I don't know if he was always like that, but maybe that particular moment, in subsequent moments after that, that wasn't the only time he did that. But, he might, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he how like back in school when we was in elementary, you hit the person you like. Maybe he likes her. Maybe he was
I think he didn't think he was being too harsh. And maybe it was a jovialness to it and having fun at her expense around people. But it messed with her. And that's my people's. Okay. And we got the interview done and everything. But damn, and then the interview's a little shorter because now my cameraman is not setting up as quickly because you all in her ear messing with her mental.
Messing with her mentals, getting her a little nervous and everything. But
shout out to the camera. Hold up. Shout out to production. Shout out to camera crews, all the audio people over the years, Mo Brown and Cecil. Shout out to all the great camera people I've had. Snake Plissken, 6'6", used to sneak him into the concert. He stand up, he put the camera way in the air. We got footage you don't know where this footage comes. You think we got a stand or something. You thought we had a drone footage before there was drone footage. No, we had a 6'5" cameraman. Hey, shout out to production. Shout out to anybody who came help me edit it in the studio. But I edited that footage the night before. Shout out to Howard for all the work he did. All the production, because like we talk about this TV thing. Oh, you in the front of the camera. Oh, you rich. Yeah. People judge you, they watch you. There's so many layers because you got the person right behind the camera and the person behind him with the audio and the person behind them in the studio switching and the person behind them securing the place and the person behind them in the green room and the person behind them doing the sales and the person behind them doing the marketing. And you think,
Yeah, for people, that's the truth. I'm glad you put that up. I feel like people think that, all right, the work that was done was just the work out in the field. There was so much work behind the scenes. You know, when you talk about sales, marketing, all that kind of stuff, that's one person pretty much doing all of that, and then going out to get the interviews, then going out to arrange the stuff. So it was. I enjoyed it. I learned so much. So being able to do different jobs, you learn a lot.
Yep.
It's like Urban Expressions University is like it's like a university, and
And
yeah, I didn't know.
it's a subset of the Dorothy E. Brunson College. And so, like, one of the things you just said it. What did you just say? You said you did a lot of things. This is just one of my mom's mantras that I hear with people, and I think people should understand. And it's all of us are probably really, really good at maybe two or three things. All of us are probably good at two or three things. All of us, everyone listening, probably could do two or three things on like a super high level. And I don't know if you're lucky, you picked one of those for your career. If you're real lucky, you're doing all three and you're flourishing. But no one's meant to do one thing. And so she was very good at finding out, oh, you do that too? Okay, well, then you could come here and do that. And then you could come here and do that on the weekend then.
Yeah,
and then okay, then oh, you do makeup too. So then when I got to go on TV, and now you got three things. And even if the person who worked for it wasn't a pro at three things, they would try to be. But all of us, this is her thing. This is not coming from me, this comes from her. At least three things you're good at, that you're in the 1% in the world at. And you gotta find it. And if you do, you're one of the super happy ones. Because most of us don't find it. We have the things we have, and there's rich people we know, successful, but say, I'm not even doing what I felt like I was born to do. Like there's rich people who say, oh, now I'm rich. I'm gonna climb this mountain and I'm gonna learn. Like I have a friend, I won't mention his name, but he did very well in computer science. And then he's like, I'm done. That's not what I wanted to be. And then he went and climbed some mountains. And then he went and became an EMT. And then finally he had a baby. That all of my crew late at the end. So, hey, do you? Life is wonderful. And that's what we want to bring from Urban Expressions. Do you strong, but you should be able to monetize it. And if you could do that, and that's what the people were. People were like, oh, you volunteer, Urban Expressions, you're not making money. No, but I gave options, opportunity and outlets and, spread it around. You spread it around. And maybe half of it is, it's not like I was sponsored by Nike to have a show. I had to do the best of what I got because maybe, people who look at, oh, they got that rinky-dink radio show. Well, I don't know what you're able to pull off for free, but here you go. All right. And we kind of keep it like that.
But it's all, like I said, it's all experience. Yeah. And if that's another thing. If you feel like, all right, I'm volunteering, I'm working for free, create your income source. So people wonder why, why I'm an executive producer, why you pass it along? Because I saw an opportunity to figure out how we all can make money. Not just me, but how we all can make money.
And the station too.
And the station. So everybody benefits.
I have to take a quick break. 1 second.
Okay. So find out how we all could benefit. So it's like it's more than just what you see on the camera. It's more than what you see. It's more than what you see. It's what happened tonight. Well, so we're here. This is the 30 interviews 30 days celebrating Urban Expressions 30 years. I didn't want the 30th year to come by with not acknowledgement. So embarking on something that allowed me to do this, like he said, finding your sweet spot, your purpose. I never knew I wanted to do interviews. I never understood that this was a calling or this was what I was supposed to be doing. But through the opportunity from Urban Expressions, it allowed me to see that. So he's back. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, hey, people tuning in. Yvonne, hey, Vincent. Oh, you do. Yeah, two interviews. Yes. You know why we had to end it with Urban Expressions? On IG and on Facebook. I love IG. IG my thing.
I mean, we were what's trending before people even talked about the word trending.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we had a strong. We had following, I guess, down to Baltimore, where people had come up, because you might visit Philly and be like hanging on a Saturday and see the show, and you don't have that show in Baltimore, and you're like, oh, Urban Expression is cool, all the way up to New York with our counterparts who we're sharing artists with. So artists might interview on us, and then they go to New York, and then New York might send the artist to us, and all places in between. Shout out to Poor Righteous Teachers in Trent, and I mean, all in between, all up in there. Shout out to Redman, Jersey City. It's just, and so even though, and then people wanted our market, and the Philly market.
Yeah. They wanted the market. It's official. When anything, like you could thinking about LaLa in the studio. When you put a studio on, you say, hey, the studio, call right now. Their phone would ring instantly. It was like instantly. So everybody who came on, advertised, sponsored, whatever, they got instant reviews, instant people responding, instant. So if you say advertising doesn't work, it was working because they got it instantly.
Yes.
And so that's what made some of the local sponsors come back, the hair salons, the studios, and things like that, because it was instant results.
And you and Keith were masters of content creation. Look, we're gonna go out here on Friday, and we're gonna shoot this, and we're gonna edit it, and we're gonna bring that commercial to Ed Saturday afternoon. Ed gonna put it in the show, and we were damn near real time before the internet. We didn't even. I wish I could have emailed them how we could have done it. I wish we had the internet popping like it was then. Back then, our internet used to go.
Oh my God! Yes, it sure did. It sure did. But that's what makes it so amazing that we were like the ones who did it first. We were the trendsetters. We just did it, And so anybody can say, "Oh, I did this," but really, we really did do that first. We were the first ones to go into different businesses and promote different businesses. Nobody was doing that back then. Nobody was taking their cameras into a business and saying, "Hey, what's up? I'm here at that before and after hair salon," or "What's up? We had Total Furniture Center," or "Don't Be Mitsubishi," and things like that. It was a thing that nobody was doing. Even we got so good. Even the station was like, "Hold up, y'all better stop."
Right, and then like, can you send the crew out to here and there? We're like, okay. But it was a symbiotic relationship, because the Channel 48 needed some original programming and cheap programming, and we were able to provide that in a slot that worked for us. Everyone, move it back. If I move it back, then it gets adult, and move it forward. Get it forward. Then you're getting into people's prime time. So the slot was great, 10 to 12, right?
Yes.
10 to 12 slot. It was
a great slot. Until they took the half hour off. It was 11 to 1, and then they took the half hour off and made it 11:30 to 1. And we still made it, but I was mad when
but then we had tunes in there for a while because we wanted to get shout out to Al Box and Danielle Bonner. Danielle Bonner tunes. And so again, spreading love, we got the call from upstairs. Y'all need to diversify this Saturday night. So we came with a satellite production out of all of our own team pretty much, and just get 2 new hosts you don't know. And we're sending them to rock shows, and we're sending them to local bands and concerts, and they're interviewing local bands and stuff, and they build up their own thing. And so shout out to Tunes. Channel 48 was building their own programming.
And we had gospel expressions.
We had gospel expressions. That's right.
Yes.
And so my mom was a visionary all to the end. She again created the urban temporary format. She walked by. There's a story that she, as rap was coming out, because we're going back to when she bought the station. Rap was just coming out because disco was the thing. Okay, disco was the thing when she bought her first station. Disco was the thing, not rap. We had two rap songs. Everyone, 3 rap songs when she bought the station. Sugar, Rapper's Delight, Curtis Blow. There's 2-3 artists. But rap was coming and she saw it. And there's a story where she's with Sweet Cookie of the Unos. Shout out to Sweet Cookie. Shout out to Uno, Stacy's people.
Uno girl, Stacy.
That's right. And that whole crew, the We Rock crew and the Newmarks and all of them. And but they would come through and the story that she said they were doing their little rapping. And she said, "What's that y'all doing?" They said, "Oh, that's rap." She said, "All right, put that on." In other words, she just heard what it was and knew it was something to do, more so than she was an innovator. She just heard, she had a good ear, and a good vision. And then, of course, our AM station started taking out FM stations in time slots with rap music. And then, of course, they start playing rap, and then because FM is a better signal, and so. But someone had to push the envelope first. And so she was an envelope pusher and always willing to take a chance. Chances are risky, but you got to willing to take a chance to get anywhere. What they say, scared money don't make money.
Scared money don't make money, trust me.
Got to take some chances. And you got to see some opportunities that are right in front of you. And I know I've been blessed to seize a few. I think you've seized a bunch. You seize opportunities because they may not come again. And still comes with risk. There's always risk. But,
people don't know. Yeah, when you talk about risk, people think, all right, yeah, you did this show, but there's moments, and Ed knows, there was moments when I didn't have it. I tell the story because there was that moment when I can't pay my mortgage. I need money. And who you gonna call? You gonna call Ed? You gonna call Ed.
Right. But we were a family. I think there's been different times with different people in the crew, hear about a person in the crew going through something, and people in the crew help each other out, give little loans out, give people a little rides, help people a little move, babysit the kids so people can get their little work done. I mean, we became a family. I mean, so much time that was donated, I could not afford, point blank. But at the same time, the people who worked were able to parlay that to make themselves more valuable. And that's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
Shout out to makeup dude, George Anthony?
No, Anthony Henderson.
Anthony Henderson Strong. Shout out to him. I mean, it's just so many little names. I'm just trying to remember as we go through this.
Anthony Henderson. He's a celebrity stylist. You have Isaac Cam. Ike has his new book out. Well, it's got 2 books. New book out. Of course, Frankie Jade. Everybody that was on it, Keep Him Up the Block, Roscoe P, Lisa Arinana, Jade Austin. I mean.
Yeah, Jade Austin. Oh, shout out to Gotti L. Give you another one. Shout out to now I'm gonna mess her name up. And I just thought she was she does the Egypt, yes. Shout out to Egypt Sherrod and her husband. She'll vouch for me. She was in radio. She wanted to go into TV. No one would give her a chance. We gave her a chance. I did a whole summer hosting with her so she could build her video portfolio, and now she's the Egypt Union.
Now her and her husband have a show on HGTV. They got their own show, but since then she's been on radio after radio, TV after TV. Her, Amber Noble.
Shout out to her and her husband, just to promo them. They got a show coming this fall where they compete against other couples to see who's gonna fix other people's houses. So they not only have a show, they're competing with these other people that do these show fix-ups. And there's so many. Shout out to Eve of Destruction. You might know her as Eve. But when she started with us, she was Eve of Destruction with the Duchess doing talent shows that we sponsored. Okay, and we told her, ain't but 2 record companies here, you better go to New York. It was just Rough House, which was the young people, and the Gambling Huffer and stuff with the older people and stuff. The Philly, what they would do, not to disrespect even those people, they were doing some things because Fuji was Rough House. But anyway, there's only 2 companies. And we were like, Eve, you gotta go up New York. She went up New York, got signed to Rough Riders, boof. So we got a legacy. And it starts with Miss Brunson and it spreads out. We want to reach back to everyone who is spread out to, back to us, so we can keep spreading it out some more.
I tried my best to keep in touch with everybody because we got to talk about Dawn Holly Matter.
That's
Dawn
right.
Holly Matter.
That's right. Ramona.
Pia, Gadiel.
Remember Ramona?
Ramona, of course, Ramona. Yeah, getting a picture with her on the Monday.
That's right. Right. Me and Ramona in great touch. Shout out to anyone in the book. Shout out to the new generation, all the people who's at the skating rink you was with. Oh man, young sir. Oh man. Oh, y'all, I mean, I'm sitting back in the studio like, okay, they just roll with it. I'll just sit here and edit and be the guy who did it. Hey, let's go. Shout out to anyone who's ever hosted or everyone who's ever been interviewed. Shout out to the people who brought people in their staff who are hitting on my people in the green room, trying to take my phone people home while y'all trying to do promotion. Shout out to the whole wraparound of the music industry. Shout out to everyone who gave us a ride. Shout out to anyone who ever helped us with speakers, help us stage. Shout out to anyone who blocked crowds so we could get a shot done. Shout out. The family is large.
It's very large, and people. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they left out or forgot about. But it's hard to remember 30 years worth of people. Like
30 years worth of people.
It's hard to remember because it's like it goes in stages, 10, 10, 10. It's hard to remember every stage because the show went, in different directions. But if you were ever a part of Urban Expressions, anything you've ever done for Urban Expressions, even if it was carrying some water, whatever, your family, even if you was bringing your children to Club UX, shout out to the parents who brought their children to Club UX. And even if you didn't bring your child, you trusted me with your children. And that was big, because Lisa's mom and Phil's mom, Rockstar P's mom, they trusted. You had to trust me with your children. And I appreciate y'all. And then talking to the parents when you run into, like, going over to Rockstar P's house, talking to his mom, back in the day, she really appreciated. She thanked. Honestly, she's like, thank you for what you did for my kid. Her kid was 13 years old, and he, confidence. It's hard when you're 13 years old. He was, shorter, and she was like, the show gave him confidence. So it wasn't just, hey, we're here on TV. We're building up people and building up children and actually giving them something to do and giving them money. They were actually getting paid, not a lot. Because you can't, it's not child labor laws, but give them a little honorarium. How about that?
A little just bonus, a little tip. And you know what? This is a weird transition, but I'm gonna shout out to all the prisons that used to watch us.
Yes!
Oh my goodness.
Yes!
I'm in Greatesford and all these other places because we knew because the prisoners, we were all they had. Yeah, people who had a whole life, they tune in on Saturday night. But people in prison, they were in touch. And so we got more letters from prisoners. We got letters from prisoners who would tell us to shout them out. D Block or this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know the systems in this country that whatever percentage we know are innocent in there or in there for something stupid. Or, you know, so many stories about brothers and pins in there. Now, 20% of y'all should be in there. About 20% of y'all is some murderers and some rapists. But you know, yeah, a lot of people.
But for the ones.
Yeah, it's a lot. We know it's a much innocent population than they perceive it to be, and they would get bad raps. And I must give this last shout out to C. Dolores Tucker, who kept the fire under me to say, "Oh, I got your attention, or I must be doing something," because you're supposed to be fighting for black rights in the Congress, Representative Tucker, and you bothering me and saying that we're causing riots and we're the problem. And so we lived the wraparound of, which still happens today. People say the gun violence and the way women are treated is because of the way the music is presented today. The argument still happens today, but we're at the beginning of it all. It's still the same.
At the beginning of it all.
It's still the same argument. Some people say rap music is too rough, and there's a system at work, and we pushed that system. We pushed against that. We put good music up because there is a system at work to put the most ignorant, but yet what sells the most music in the front and repeat it, as opposed to what the most talented music and uplifting music could be, because that don't make enough money.
That's true.
And it's just that simple. It's what's going on.
You talking about the violence, but I can understand it. The music was definitely sexually charged back then. It was, I mean, it still is now, but it was at the moment where most of the music was sexually charged.
Yeah. Well, my brother has a theory. He would say there's probably 3 great crazy moments in Black African American culture that's shaped by the government. And the first is proliferation of heroin in the 60s and 70s. Then you got the proliferation of crack in the 80s. And then you got the proliferation of bad music in the 90s and the early 90s. He likes to say Little Kim changed the rap game. You hear me? You hear what I'm saying? For women, she made it okay to go hardcore in that way, in a sexual way. She was kind of the first one. This is just his theory. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there.
It's a theory. I mean, but you know, we can't. Even though we did the music, we did it at that. Maybe then I didn't understand some of the magnitude of the youth and the music and what they went through in the music. I see it now. See it as an adult that's a Christian that sees it now, and I understand
the influence of music.
The influence of music back then did a lot of good things,
and we had the video with it, which now is just whatever. But back then, you get the song and the video. What? Because just before we're doing what we're doing, you could have a platinum selling album and no one know what you look like. But by the time shows like us came out, your image was everything.
Absolutely.
You had to make a video. Now everybody knows.
Said Foxy was better. That's what Vaughn said. Foxy was better.
Yeah, Foxy was another one who
I'm not gonna argue. Foxy.
Yep.
That was always a battle, Little Kim or Foxy. I say, why we gotta say somebody better? We should just uplift these Black women who was doing their thing. You know?
That's right. And then even now, because they're the forerunners to the Megan Thee Stallions and the Nicki Minaj's, because they pushed that same envelope first. And all of these women are college-educated women who are making music. And so a lot of people don't see all that. They happen to be pretty good-looking, college-educated, talented rapping women. All of them.
Yes, and Little Kim, let's say that, remember, Little Kim watched Urban Expression when you were talking about prison. While she was in prison, she was watching Urban Expression. She was in the Philadelphia prison, and she was able to watch Urban Expression, and she had her management call and say, hey.
Kim's watching, give her a shout out.
Give her a shout, not just give her a shout out, do a whole show. And they had all the people. Remember, they had all the people. Then the video.
I think we did that like the next week, and we did like a Little Kim show.
Yep. Little Kim show dedicated because she was watching when she was in prison. Yep.
So shout out to the prison community. You are our brothers and sisters. You are not lost people, and too many people count a person who's made a mistake or two or three out for life.
No, we're not counting nobody out, but I understand all the celebrities that's out there. If we played a part in it, come back and tell us that. I said, Little Kim, come back and and say this is at the time we might need you, to say, hey, we're here, support the foundation, give a donation, talk about how great Dorothy Brunson was, whatever it is, or however it affects you. If you're an artist out there from the Philadelphia artists to the Little Kims, to everybody who was affected, please make sure you understand that. Like, this is the time we were big then. We were huge, humongous following. We big then. Now we need some funding to make sure Dorothy Brunson's statue gets into the Great Blacks and Wax Museum, and we're raising money for a scholarship fund to help other people who are in the media, entertainment, and journalism arena. So if you're out there,
see, I'm gonna piggyback right on that. Both of the foundations and these nonprofits we built are all in the same vein of what has helped anyone who we've helped in the past. So we're still trying to help people. And all of this is coming from the spark of the great Dorothy E. Brunson, and we're spreading it forward. So anyone who's ever gotten help by us, remember that help came from her, and we're continuing to get this circle going of trusted family, friends, and entities working together to support the disenfranchised and women in the things Miss Brunson believed in, which was communications and science and technology and business. Okay?
Yep.
And all the things that wrap around that, and entertainment wraps around that. And so just know this is it's the end of the 30 and 30, but this should be the beginning of you guys connecting with us forever and ever and ever.
All right. Yes, connect with us. Connect with us, because it's important. It's not important because we need a wax figure. It's important because when they come into an African American museum, they need to see the legacy. They need to see the history. They need to see who was the first. So it's not just because, hey, we want to see her in a wax figure. It's because we want to make sure the message continues on. And to make a wax figure, it costs money, to create a person that's in wax. So, it costs about a good $40,000. So we need the money to make sure that happens. And it wasn't just like her legacy just wasn't about entertainment. She also was a missionary. She was a missionary who went to Africa to help the poor and needy in Africa. Getting in her scrubs pants, working the plows, working whatever it took, while still having a radio station and TV station. She was in Africa making sure she did mission work along with, what's the young lady's name?
Shaw?
Yeah, Shaw. Yeah.
Barbara Shaw, Dr. Shaw.
Barbara Shaw. They went to Africa and actually worked hard. So it wasn't
built schools, rebuilt churches, and taught them cooperative economics. A quick example: there was a village where, of course, tourism is how they make the money. So the village sells their art, pottery, and all their wares in the city, but they would all go every day. And she taught them, no, you make an inventory. And you have people responsible each day for everyone's inventory. And you set the prices. And 2 people take everybody's stuff, and the rest of you could teach your kids and farm. And it's you're a corporation now. Not each person by themselves bringing the pottery to the village. And so that's one of the many examples of what she would bring to from her mind to people. And so that whole village now is thriving off the art they make, also thriving with interaction because they have more time to make a better quality of life for them and their children, outside of just having to watch their stuff all day long at the market. And so that was just one example of the many things my mom did. Hey, all we can do is try to live in her legacy, because it's a lot to be behind. And that's why I'm glad I got people in the foundation to help me promote what she was, because I'm not enough. I need help to bring her to life.
That's why
I am just a piece, and we got more pieces to bring her full story to life. And even though there's articles written and blurbs written, maybe one day we'll get the whole book written. Maybe one day we'll get the whole documentary. Maybe one day we'll have the whole 3-hour biopic. Anyway.
Yes, we will. Yes. Want to ask where the museum is in Baltimore. It's the National Great Blacks and Wax Museum in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yep.
And last year we hosted lives every single month. And this month, oh man, this is her birthday month. Her birthday is on March 13th. This is her birthday month. So happy birthday to Dorothy Brunson. So this
and we'll be doing some celebratory things on her birthday, also in conjunction with Black History Month. And just to piggyback on the Great Blacks and Wax, she sat on the board for that to help make that happen as well. So they are on board with making sure she gets a wax figure. It just costs money.
It costs money.
There's only about 4 or 5 wax museums in the country. And so this is just one of them. Black wax museums in the country.
Black.
And the museum was founded from the theory that if we need to tell our own stories, and if we don't tell our stories, they'll tell it for us in the way they want to tell it for us. And so that's the inspiration of that museum. We promoting and telling our own stories in our own frame of reference, in our own language, in our own perspectives.
So that is the purpose. So everybody join us. Go follow the page. It's Dorothy Brunson Foundation. Is it Dorothy E. Brunson? It's Dorothy. Is it
Dorothy E. Brunson Foundation.org.
But I'm also saying go like us on Facebook. Follow the Facebook page, which is Dorothy E. Brunson. Go on Facebook. Just put it in DOROTHY Brunson BRUNSON. Dorothy Brunson. Put it in the chat. Follow us, like us, because on the 13th we're going to be showing up again, because it's going to be her birthday. So we're going to show up and just celebrate her life. And the whole goal, like I said, the goal is just to get her wax figure in the Great Blacks and Wax Museum. And then there's other museums, but it all costs money to get it there. It's not like, hey, they want you there. It costs money to get it there. So come on, donate to the foundation. Go to DorothyBrunsonFoundation.org. The donate button is there. So just keep supporting. And that's why we're here, y'all folks out there. Right there.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to go.
Yes, it's that time. It's that time of night, because I'm sure we got to get up and do some things in life.
We do. But so for all those who've been watching,
just the 13th, but we also have a course coming up. We also have a big conference coming up. So really keeping all the knowledge that we've learned, we're teaching it. So
we got some online kind of class, online / in-person stuff coming. We got a scholarship coming, and we got a few other little events coming. Come to Philly. Come out and hang out with us, the Urban Expressive crew in Philly on March 26th.
March 26th, 9 p.m. at the Commodore Barry. Make sure y'all come on now, show on now, people. We gonna be there. They honoring us. Uptown Standard newspaper. You know, it means a lot, because some people forget, but Uptown Standard say, you know what? We want to honor you. So thank you so much to Uptown Standard. They're going to honor us, and it's going to be fun. All right, everybody.
All right. Bye, everybody. I will see y'all next time. Next time, I will see everybody from outer space.
Yes, it's space. It's like space.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Bye, y'all.